Another episode of Leadership Legacy podcast series. And today I'm sure you will be blown away because this is another fantastic time. My name is Buki and my co-host here is
Ify, and you're welcome to the Leadership Legacy podcast. Today we have a very special guest, someone who has led many organizations and he has great stories to share. Mr. Tunji Lawal, you're welcome to this podcast.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Tunji Lawal has led the Lagos State Table Tennis Association and has also been the chairman of the Lagos Country Club Table Tennis Section. Remarkably, he was president of the Hibiscus Flowers Exporters Association of Nigeria. Yes, and he is responsible for the success of that association, making Nigeria globally relevant and the success story it is today. We would like to hear from him how this happened and how he has been able to conquer the challenges on that journey.
Once again, I'll say good morning. My name is Tunji Lawal, and thank you for the introduction. I have to say this, that I like to humble myself. I love to serve, and whatever it is that it is to lead, you are a man of service. Well, like you rightly said, yes, I am the chairman of the Lagos State Table Tennis Association and immediate past chairman of the Lagos Country Club Table Tennis Section, but still currently the president of the Hibiscus Flower Exporters of Nigeria. And that is a bigger thing to do. And I'm so glad that I'm doing it for my country and my people. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. I think along the way, sometime you were having a discussion and you had mentioned that leadership is a fight. Right. So, can you throw more light on that? What you mean? And maybe share some experiences with us.
Yes, the experience I'd like to share is that of the business association. And this is something that has to do with Nigeria, Africa, and the world. And if I should just put in a small story of how we got started. And hibiscus flower is a major export from Africa to the world. And it was Sudan that was leading in the continent. And followed by Nigeria, Egypt, we had Ghana, and some other countries. But unfortunately, in 2017, we were banned. The whole of Africa was banned from export of this product to the major market of Mexico and that of Europe. But the real incident was that of a particular insect that was detected, which was not acceptable, to other countries. But nobody was ready to take the fight, to sort this problem. And there are hundreds of women who are directly employed all over the country, tens of thousands. But the whole Africa was banned, and we needed to do something as a country to go back into the market, because this is a business that has to do with hundreds of millions of dollars. So I took it upon myself that, look, it's a fight. Let us do it. I approached Mexico, approached the authorities in Nigeria for us to get this business back online. We cannot afford to lose the market and the money. And then, fortunately, it fell on me, to do this. It cost so much time and money, and but by God's grace, we were able to bring Nigeria back online. And as of today, as I'm talking to you, Nigeria is the only country that is shipping to Mexico at the moment from Africa. But coming to the issue of getting this done, having to lead a group of people And I can tell you that 70% of the membership of this association are foreigners, and we have people of diverse tribe in Nigeria on it. So initially, it wasn't something that was reckoned with, that it wasn't a big deal, and people didn't really, push for it. But when they realized that this had to do with governments of countries, this had to do with the presidency of Nigeria then, this had to do with major people around the world, that was when the problem started on the leadership. That why is this person the leader? The issue of power came in and all that. But you see, to be able to succeed at that level, one, you must be patient. You must be calculative. And especially, you must have a focus. My focus there and then was not for the power. My focus was for the business to survive. And that was what I was more concerned about. But be that as it may, I'm somebody who believes in let the end justify the means. Don't listen to all these side talks or anything. Once you set your goal, pursue this. I'm an advocate of something, the 5 P's of success. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. If you have the 5 P's of success and you're taking each as it comes, forget about what people say. But today, I can gladly say that we emphasize the 5 P's, we stayed focused, and today we are what we are today as an association.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That you can sacrifice your time and your resources to pursue an agenda that was for everyone in Nigeria. I hear you say that it wasn't about you. It was about the 10,000 women who are the farmers of this flour. You were looking at the fact that they would now be unemployed. They would have resources to feed their children. So there was some compassion behind your taking up this leadership opportunity.
Exactly.
It wasn't just that you wanted to be the big boss, but you wanted to solve the problem of unemployment of these women. And of course, poverty, because indirectly their children will be impoverished if they didn't have a source of income.
Exactly.
So kudos to you. And sharing your story. I can imagine that it couldn't have been easy when the association now became a global success. Yeah. Others now wanting to push you maybe aside to take the glory. So how did you manage these egos, these temperaments, these people who, having baked the cake, essentially wanted to come now and eat the cake?
Well, it also has to do with, like I said, patience. There were times when some group of people will come and say, hey, what are you doing with our money? We have paid for dues and everything. I always make sure that I am accountable as a leader. And whatever you think you spend of your money is justifiable on the long run. So the funds from the association, I ensure that we don't spend it anyhow, but make sure that we are on target with what we want to achieve. I had a situation once, and when members of the association came to me and said, hey, what have you done with our money? You travel to Abuja every time, you go to Mexico, you go to Europe. Yes, I do all these things for the association, for the good of the group. And they said, okay, how did you do with our money? What did you do with our money? We are going to remove you. And then I called a meeting. I said, hey, before you do that, let me present my account and let's see what we have done. Between 2017 and about 2020 that we had the meeting, 2021, and I brought out the account and I showed to them at the meeting that this is the account. They found out that I didn't spend a dime of their money. They were shocked. And then they came back. What you have not been spending now? You do a lot of work all over the country. Where do you get the money? That is my sacrifice as a leader. Wow. It was because of a day like this that I'll be accountable and I'll be able to say to you that this is what I did. And on that basis, they apologized and withdrew all the fight. I've had a situation also, even this happened last year, that a group of guys said, no, we have to change the leadership. Mr. Lawal is not carrying us, the way we want. And I said to them, how do you want it? Would you want to run? I am not a dictator. It's an association. Everybody should come and run. So they were supposed to come on board. Then I told them the responsibilities and the duties of what I've been doing. That was when it dawned on them to say, whoa, this is what you have been doing. Just stay and control everything. You see, when we started this, Nigeria was not shipping even one container out of the country. As at 2017, 2019. But as I'm talking to you now, Nigeria is moving over 4,000 containers out of this country every year. Wow. From zero. And mainly my target was to achieve a zero rejection of Nigerian hibiscus from all over the world. And this we have achieved as at the moment. And we thank God for that. But also has to do with the leadership. I have a group of guys that are also working with me that believe in me. But if you don't show the right leadership trait, they won't follow you. But first, you must be a listener. You must carry everybody along. And you must not be, the all in all in it. And I'm an advocate also of something. Be the first to hear, but be the last to speak.
Be the first to hear and the last to speak. Yes. Alhaji, I want to move you into your role as in sports. Sports being a very crucial part of any economy, any society, and you being at the forefront of it, even in Lagos State and within the country club. What are we doing as regards as a nation to move our sports to get things better, especially in terms of management of talents and also being able to showcase them in the global space?
That is a lot of work to be done. And my passion is that of table tennis. And I've been part of the sport for so many years, and I could see the growth of the young ones, in the game. And when I became the chairman of Lagos State Table Tennis Association, my emphasis was on development of the youth. But today I can say with a lot of pride that those young ones that I took up then are something today. Like I have two boys, the number one and the number two in the country in table tennis. I took them from cadets. They were cadets, and I was emphasizing on them with the coaches and their training, and that they must be part of the team. And today they are number one and number two in Nigeria. Wow. They are representing the country, members of the national team. So it goes a lot to do with giving youth, room to develop. And yes, we have problem also with funding, but as much as we can, we are not just engaging these youths in sports. We are giving them a belief that there is hope for tomorrow. Like these boys that I'm telling you about, who have never traveled out of this country, when they were youth, the cadets and the junior players, now they represent the country. Recently, they were in Qatar playing the World Table Tennis Championship. And there was one of them that I sent to France, who went to play a championship in France. And they have been playing around the world now, representing Nigeria. And those are the boys of yesterday. We have some today for tomorrow. We have to keep developing them. And belief in them is what is more important.
Oh, fantastic. I just want to add this again that, okay, so how do we replicate more of you? You have been able to, position these people. And, we need the leadership growth. We need to develop other leaders to have more of the people that will have your passion, your values in grooming others. What do you think we can do to increase this?
It's still the same thing. Believing in what you want to achieve. I'll give you an example. The recent national sports fiesta that came up in Abeokuta. Lagos State came with our players that we developed from the youth, and yes, it's about winning medals, but we need to de-emphasize that we must a must win mindset, because if you don't grow them today, they won't become something tomorrow. There was a particular state I won't mention that went as far, or some states that went as far as bringing players from outside the country, who had, ready-made players playing tens of millions to bring them in. Yeah, you're going to win the gold. After that, what comes? But the kid that you bring today that has participated in this championship, even if probably he won the gold, he won the bronze, he will believe he can win the silver and go to the gold. But with what we had, we came, with these young players, we came back home with some medals, some silver medals, some bronze medals. Unfortunately, we had some incidents. One of our players got injured at the semi-final stage. At the semi-final stage, one of our players had his pad, stolen, because they knew Lagos was going to be very strong. We had a lot of issues, but I still believe in these young ones, and I still believe in developing young ones. Like I'm trying to do in Lagos right now is to move into local governments, set up the structure in the local government to discover youths that will come up, give them hope and something to look forward to. They will have it tomorrow, today. Sports is kind of related to business as well, depending on how you see it. And like I said, if somebody invites you, let's do you too, you need to, ensure that you are yourself. If I play, let me use table tennis as an example, and we play maybe 2 minutes, and suddenly the ball got to the edge, and then you are now arguing. No, 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 no. It's my point. No, it's not your point. It's my point. It's for me to know that, can I trust this person? But if somebody, it edges and it leaves, it drops, and they say, oh, it's an edge. Oh, it's edge. Okay, no problem. Let's play on. That means this guy can be trusted. Or you play golf and it gets to a particular, and you want to start an argument, is to show that basically trust, which is the key to open a discussion to business. So all those things. Then if we are on the table for a few minutes and then you suddenly say, no, I'm done. I don't want to do this again. It goes to say that you cannot hold on for more than expected. So if we are going to go through a lengthy period in the course of what we want to do, can you hold up? So this has shown that you're not somebody who can hold up for that extent. So your character, your attitude will show in sport, but a lot of people don't know. So, however, I think we all have to go into one sport or the other and then try to. But you have learned something today that be careful the way you show yourself.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Alhaji Lawal. And I just want to go back briefly to the hibiscus flower exports. So, what can you say? Is there opportunities there for young people? Many people are jackpying because of there's no hope. They can't see the hope. They can't see the future. So, what are the opportunities that are available that people can, leverage?
Opportunities are not only in hibiscus flower. We have a lot of commodities in Nigeria. I've done so many commodities. I've done gum arabic, ginger. I've done cocoa beans. I've done quite a number of things. I've even done waste management. Several years. I've been involved in manufacturing of nails before. So but life is just about going through a lot of processes before you get to know what you can handle. Look at our universities. You come in, okay, you want to study business admin. You have elective courses. After 2 or 3 years, you start going to your compulsory courses, and then you get specific with your courses. That is what life is all about. You do a lot of things that formulates your experience into when you now concentrate on a particular. So that is just the way it is, So there are opportunities. Even if you feel you want to do a business of such, you don't want to lose money, you can't stay there. I can say that in Nigeria, if you want to survive, you must have a lion heart. You must have a lion heart. It's you win some, you lose some. If you have that mindset of you lose some, you win some, you reduce your losses after a particular time from experience. It teaches you that these are things you need to avoid. These are things you need to do. And once you learn that, your losses get out, and then you keep doing well. So our youth are not ready to go through the rudiments of learning to get successful. Everybody wants to get money today, and it doesn't work like that. We have to go through this experience. If you cannot fail, you cannot afford to fail, you cannot succeed. Your experience in failure will take you to success.
Wow. Talking about failures, and this is not just in sports, how do you come back stronger from a defeat, let's say in the business arena?
Okay, to answer that question, I'll give you a small story. A couple of years ago, in my export business, we shipped about 8 containers of hibiscus flower to a client. And when it got to Mexico, they complained about the quality, and then they rejected. And then this was before we started the zero rejection process. Yeah, this was around in 2015 or 2014 that it happened. But rather than feel dejected, what I knew, okay, this has happened. How do I, get around it? I requested those 8 containers be brought back to Nigeria. It cost me a lot of money. So when it got to my warehouse, I brought, my staff, the cleaners, they opened the containers and then opened the bags. This was for my staff who had processed before export to see what they actually did prior to export. And it has come back. So for them to identify that this was their problem. I stopped shipments for a few months, gathered my staff, we went for a retreat, identified the problem. Where did they start? How did we get there? Where do we go from here? We spent about 3 days trying to identify what we have to do. We came up with a solution. And after a few weeks, we set up those processes. Then we started again. Where we started with the new strategy and the process that we have set, I can tell you that since then till today, not one container has been rejected. So what does that taught us is that when you have issues, look at what probably must have caused the issue, identify the problem, and then reset your process. And once you do that, it may take you time, it may cost you money, you can only get better from there. So that is to tell you that a failure or an error is not a failure. You have only failed if you stop trying.
Wow. Yeah.
But if you try and fail and you never stop, you can only succeed.
I can take 3 or 4 hours from there. You retreated, you reviewed your processes, you reset,
Exactly.
and you're on the path of renewal
Exactly.
and success. I could give you an applause right now.
Thank you so
Wow.
much.
Yes, it sure deserves that. It sure deserves that. Thank you so much, Alhaji Lawal. We are so grateful to have you, and your depth and the wealth of wisdom that you have is amazing. I'm sure all our viewers will have learned so much today, and we trust that they will pick all the nuggets that you have given and apply it in their lives. Right? So it's been a fantastic episode again, being with you on Leadership Legacy podcast series. And so from me, and I say thank you and join us again. And from Ify, she's saying
Thank you for listening and tuning into this podcast, and see you in the next episode.